Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time, and in this video I want to give you Speaker Pelosi's perspective, because Speaker Pelosi was just interviewed about the current status of the stimulus negotiations, and my channel is about giving you both sides. For me, it's not about the red or the blue, it's about the red, white and blue. I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican, I'm American. I have covered other videos and I've covered the interviews from White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows and the US Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin on my channel today. But now I'm going to tell you what House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said and what specifically was her position. One of the things that she said really resonated with me, because she did talk about kids. In fact, her comment was, the president is saying choose me over your child. And I want to quickly share a personal story with you before I get into what the House Speaker said. I have a 5-year-old son and a 2-year-old daughter. Today was the first day that my wife and I dropped them off to school. Now, my son just started kindergarten. My wife said that my son and daughter should be at the same place, so we put them both in a private daycare, which also has a kindergarten component. So essentially, my son is in a private school for kindergarten, and my daughter goes to the same facility, and they have a private daycare. Now, the reason I'm mentioning all this to you is, for us as parents, there was a lot of fear involved in sending them back, but we felt confident sending them back because the school is excellent with all the measures they take. They have highly regulated systems, both in terms of who's allowed in and out. Their ventilation system is highly regulated. We know everyone at the school very well, and the children have to wear masks all day. I mean, just thinking about it, honestly, it makes me a bit emotional. My 5-year-old son and my 2-year-old daughter wearing masks all day at school, but this is not a normal world that we live in, right? So when House Speaker Pelosi talks about kids, for me it's personal, because my boy and my girl are in school right now as I'm recording this video, wearing masks, and they went back to school after months of being home with us. So the house is suddenly super quiet, and it feels I'm feeling an empty nest syndrome, because I don't hear children screaming their lungs out, which I like that sound. So let's get back to what Speaker Pelosi said, and it's clear that the shots that they're taking at each other, I'm laughing because I don't know what else to do. The shots that they're taking at each other are increasing, are escalating at this point. This is where things stand right now. House Speaker Pelosi specifically said, and this is a comment from her, the president vandalized the White House. Slapped science right in the face. Yep, that's what she said. The president vandalized the White House and slapped science right in the face. The speaker is talking about the president's actions on the White House lawn during the Republican National Convention. The president had a gathering on the White House lawn, and you can read more about it on the news. So that's what the speaker is referring to. So I'm going to give you some comments from Speaker Pelosi, and then Speaker Pelosi also issued a press release on the status of the eviction moratorium. So I'm going to go over that in this video as well. But let's take a look at the speaker's comments from a news clip today, and then I'll actually show you the news clip so you can see for yourself what the speaker was talking about. The speaker said, we passed the bill on May 15th. The speaker is referring to the HEROES Act, and she said at that time Mitch McConnell pressed the pause button, and since that time 4.6 million individuals have been infected. 4.5 million more people have become infected, 4.5 million, and she said that 96,000 people have died since then. And she said, thank you for your pause, Mitch McConnell. Too bad you forgot to say pause to the virus. So she said, we've engaged in these negotiations, but she says, what further evidence does one need that the president does not care about the spread of the virus than to see what he did in vandalizing, by the way, the White House by bringing all those people there, no mask, no distancing, and the rest. He slapped science right in the face, and what a bad example that was. So this is the House Speaker, the lead Democrat in the House of Representatives, talking about the president, and this is what's going on right now. Never seen this in the history of our country, but this is where we are right now. I'm not blaming Speaker Pelosi, just so that we are clear. This is the state of affairs right now, and 1% of my viewers are going to freak out and think I'm Republican or Democrat. For me, it's not about that. For me, it's about the state of the conversation, which is not at a healthy stage. So for me, that is, by the way, it's from both sides. White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows has said that they're not negotiating in good faith, that the conversation was a waste of time, and House Speaker Pelosi has said things as well. So clearly, this is not a good faith, constructive dialogue that will lead to a negotiation at this point in time, and that is something that I want us to see. And it's about finding commonality, finding common ground, and meeting in the middle. That's how it always is for me. That's how it always will be, because for me, the presidency and the elected representatives, the goal is to come together, regardless of who is actually occupying those offices at that time. So I have a different perspective towards looking at these things. So here's what House Speaker Pelosi continued to say. She said, so if we're going to succeed in these negotiations, we have to look at the science. And she said that with the HEROES Act, that's what we did, but they, meaning the administration, will not do state and local government, which is essential to our heroes. She talked about all the heroes who need help, and she said we have a real problem here because they do not understand the gravity of the situation. And she said that we have this situation where Donald Trump is saying to the American people, because now we're going back to school this week, and she's right. I just talked about my own personal example. Kids are going to school. And she says, he is saying, you say to them, choose me over your child because I'm not going to spend the money it takes to make it safe to go back to school. I'm not going to do what it takes to stop the spread of the virus. When kids go to school, to have the ventilation, the spacing. By the way, I talked about my own example, but if you're unable to send your kids to a certain school and you have to go to public school, and the public school doesn't have the funding to keep kids safe, that is a real concern, and that is essentially a responsibility of the state government. And if the state government is running out of money or has already earmarked funds because, all of a sudden the pandemic hit them and they don't have any funds, and that becomes something that the federal government under normal circumstances would step in and help. So what Speaker Pelosi is saying makes sense if public schools are not going to be safe. So whether public schools are going to be safe without additional funding, that is a real question that needs to be asked here, regardless of political differences. I mean, it's a fact. If public schools are not safe, we don't want kids, we want kids to be safe. There are medical considerations here as well, but I'm focusing on what Speaker Pelosi is saying here, and then you can come to your own conclusion. She said that, they said, choose me over your child. When kids go to school, the ventilation, the spacing is important. She said this is appalling. But again, another reason is where you have to pay attention to the scientists, to the testing, the tracing, the treating, spacing, mask, sanitation, and the rest. Instead, the president just wants herd immunity, which is totally discredited by anyone who knows anything about epidemiology except his advisor, who knows nothing about it.
We passed the bill on May 15th. At that time, Mitch McConnell pressed the pause button. He said there was no reason for us to do anything. Since that time, 4.6 million more people have been infected. 4.5 million more people have been infected, and 96,000 more people have died. Thank you for your pause, Mitch McConnell. Too bad you didn't tell the virus to pause. Okay, so we are engaged in these negotiations, but just look at it this way. What further evidence does anyone need that this president didn't care less about the spread of this virus than to see what he did, vandalizing, by the way, the White House by bringing all those people there, no mask, no distancing, and the rest. He slapped science right in the face. And what a bad example that was. So if we're going to succeed in negotiations, we have to look to the science. Dr. Jha has told us over and over that we need 3 million tests a day. That's what we have in the HEROES Act. But they just won't do it. They won't take up a strategic plan to do that. They won't do state and local government, which is so essential to our heroes, hence called the HEROES Act, for healthcare and first responders and sanitation, transportation, teachers, food suppliers, and the rest. So we have a real problem here because they do not understand the gravity of the problem. They refuse to accept the science and what science is advising, and hence we have this situation where we I think that what Donald Trump is saying to the American people, because now we're coming into school this week, kids are going to school and the rest, he's saying to them, choose me over your child, because I'm not going to spend the money it takes to make it safe to go back to school. I'm not going to do what it takes to stop the spread of this virus, or when the kids go to school, to have the ventilation, the spacing, the teachers that you need to do that. This is appalling. But again, yet again, another reason why, if only they would pay attention to the scientists testing, tracing, treating, spacing, mask, sanitation, and the rest. Instead, the president just wants what now? Herd immunity, which is totally discredited by anyone who knows anything about epidemiology, except his advisor, who knows nothing about it.
Now, which advisor Speaker Pelosi was talking about, I'm not entirely sure. If you do know who she's talking about, please type her out into the comment section below. But that's basically where things stand right now. Speaker Pelosi did also issue a statement on Twitter about the eviction, the extension of eviction moratoriums, which are important, where the administration hasn't really provided a definitive solution to the extension of eviction moratoriums other than a recommendation through the president's executive order. I did cover that in a separate video on our channel. But let me know what you think of Speaker Pelosi's comments below, and also watch my analysis of Stephen Mnuchin's comments today and Chief of Staff Mark Meadows' comments today. Watch all of that and let me know what you think below. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. I have the fortune, the privilege, the honor of living the American dream. I'm a symbol of American greatness. I'm the beneficiary of American exceptionalism. I really appreciate you watching. I want to help you live the American dream. Hopefully you live the American dream even better than I'm living. So hopefully you get the opportunity to do that. I want to help you with our channel. Make sure you click like, you subscribe, you enable notifications so you get instant updates from our channel going forward. I really appreciate you watching. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. So please make sure you're subscribed to our channel. You can follow us on Instagram. On Instagram, our handle is ignition_time. So follow us on Instagram to get exclusive content on Instagram. You can also get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time, send that to 70,000. That's 70000, and you'll get on our SMS list. You can also get on our email list. Go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you'll get on our email list. You can get out of our email list, opt out of our SMS list at any point in time that you want. Sometimes YouTube does not release notifications because they come late, or sometimes they just don't come. So what you want to do is you want to bookmark youtube.com/ignitiontime. This way you can visit our homepage of our YouTube channel once or twice a day, and then you can check out all the videos we release, and so that way you don't miss a single important video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Once again, my name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I'm really looking forward to taking you further in this journey, and I'm happy that you're a part of our community. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.